Hello, hello, hello. Good day, everybody. Let me turn on some lights. It is kind of raining outside. It is the first day of spring, apparently, or at least around that time. Yesterday was Ostara, and I had a wonderful day. I didn't get to really celebrate. Hey, April, what's up? Um, I didn't get to really celebrate it yet, but y'all, I'm excited for this new year, what it's going to hold. Last year, the past few years have been transformational, of course. And this has always been a kind of special time of year for me, too. Hey, Nicole. March, because it really is a rebirth, it's renewal. Hey, Courtney. Um, it's like new energy. Pretty soon, leaves will start to come on the trees. The weather's gonna be warm again. This rain that's happening right now is just really cleansing. It's washing away all of the stuff from the past. Um, April showers, May flowers, right? So we're getting ready for the April showers, and it's a renewal. I'm so excited. Yay, internet. We all need that internet. Yay. It's super excited, y'all. I got this yesterday. I shouldn't be showing all this, but whatever. Total gift. And yeah, April, I didn't even know that. That's so cool. Totally. Yes, that's your namesake. I got that, you all, and it's funny because I guess that'll kind of lead into what I want to talk about today, you all. I talked to Nicole about this the other night. Um, Vulnerability. Let me drink my coffee. um, a lot of times we're repressed. We live on repression in this society. We're repressed. We're made to not know ourselves. Y'all, I wear the same clothes for days in a row sometimes, forgive me, but this is one of my favorite shirts. Know that self. That is one of the big lessons in the spiritual journey. Hey Angela, what's up? It's to know yourself, and we're really steered away from that. I don't know if it's well, I do know, but you could consider it society doing it, or you could just consider it the circumstances of life. But our challenge is to know ourselves. And thank you, Angela. I got this at a Kwanzaa fair like a few years ago, and it's so important because it's written in pub the temple and the Oracle of Delphi, the temple at Delphi, and it's actually Egyptian in origin. Just we'll just say ancient society. But that is the challenge of life because if you want to be empowered in this life, you have to know yourself. And at times, I know it's like that is the last thing that we want to do. We want to sacrifice, compromise, not acknowledge, blame, shame, whatever, do everything that everybody else, everything possible to get away from knowing ourselves. And that is really the answer, you all. When you do know yourself and you take the time to learn who you are, and there's it's never ending. Like you'll never say, "Oh, I know myself now." You'll know yourself more and more and more, but that's the inner work that you have to do. When you take the time, that's where you gain your power from. So, a large part of that self knowledge is vulnerability. And what I talked about with Nicole the other day is like spiritual path is a lot of times when you take the measures to know yourself, you have people that will try to convince you not to do that. Part of knowing yourself is knowing your limits. Whenever people see this, they often get freaked out, they give warnings, they caution against it. Not because they really even know anything, but because they hear it's bad. Um, it's taboo. There are a lot of taboos in our society. And and people don't want you to explore. They don't want you to find out for yourself. They don't want you to test the limits. They don't want you to see what you're made of. They want you to fall in line. They want you to do the expected. They don't want you to challenge their understanding of the world, even through your own experience. So they'll discourage that type of behavior. Ooh, Ouija, I heard that was bad. But I have these stories. They'll say, oh, or they'll say, like, I know from personal experience it's dangerous. Okay, great. That's your personal experience. Allow me to have my personal experience. Yeah, April, they want you to play it safe. They don't want you to experience things for your own. You can tell a kid, don't touch fire because you'll get burned. You can tell them that. But unless they know that sensation for themselves, like, hello, Christianity is a big one, you all, because we're talking about taboos. There's also institutions, which is kind of like the opposite of taboos. It's like these are the things that are designated for you. They're the go-tos. You're encouraged to go down this path. You know, one of the institutions is marriage. Oh yeah, get married. You should be in a relationship, have kids, blah 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 blah. Y'all, I've seen for myself, there are people who get pushed into that institution, and it's definitely not what they need. It's more dangerous for them. You know, the church. That's the institution. People approve of that. Oh yeah, go on ahead and do the church. When the church is telling you that you're shit, you know, and that's my experience. Oh, you're gay. That's not acceptable by God. You're an abomination. Oh well, excuse me. The institutions of education. You know, we have these institutions, and then we have taboos, which are like you're discouraged from going down. But you are. How do you know yourself if you never put yourself in those situations? How do you know the power of fire if you're never burned? Is it unpleasant? Yes, at the moment, but do you learn from that experience? Absolutely. Um, Also, don't let people like tell you you're smaller than you actually are. They may not understand. Like this was given to me. This was a gift, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. It was taboo for me too, but this was given to me on a very auspicious day yesterday. Not just for the holiday, but for personal reasons too. So I have to know and trust this is a gift from spirit to me for a specific reason. If I listen to people around me, I will not even go down this path and unlock the gifts that are ahead of me or the knowledge or whatever. So, yeah. And we were just talking about spirits and stuff the other day, right, Nicole? So like, you have to be open in life, and that gets the vulnerability, you all. You have to be willing to take a risk, you know, because there's a price to pay regardless, be it good or bad. There's a price to pay. There's rewards to going with the system and staying in the box, coloring in the lines. There's rewards to that, but there's also a cost to that. There's dangers involved in doing things that are taboo, but there's also a very specific reward of experiencing sides of yourself that you wouldn't have known otherwise, and also learning things about life that aren't general knowledge. You have real experiences. So be willing to risk things, be willing to try things, be open to what the universe has for you to experience, what life has for you to experience. And y'all, be willing to be uncomfortable. So many of us fight for comfort. And it's like, what does that get you? What does it cost you? Like, if you believe you are only, if you're dictated, life is dictated by comfort and security, how are you limiting yourself because of that? Nicole. If you're letting other people run their agendas on you, you're letting them do that. How are you disempowering yourself? That's what we were talking about the other day, Nicole. Like, oh, people warn you about shit they don't even know about. Oh, don't do that. Oh, I heard this out there. Okay, great. So what? Unless it costs you your life, is it really bad? If you can bounce back, does it really cost you anything? There's too much of a cost of people not being empowered in this society, not expressing their God-given gifts. Hello, Angela. Don't even get me started on that. Thank you. Right, Angela, like the people who are running these institutions, they know the truth and they're hiding it from you for a reason. So you're a pawn in their game. Absolutely, Angela. But there's too much of a cost of people not expressing their God-given gifts and potential out of fear. And there's a video I want to post in the group today, you all. It's a really, really good one by Jim Carrey. But y'all, fear versus love. Which paradigm are you adopting? Fear or love? Do you operate out of fear in life of what could happen, what may happen, or do you operate out of your love for life and your love of yourself? There's too many people who don't express their God-given gifts, abilities, talents. Too many people not affirmed for who they are, what they possess. Too many people playing it small, shrinking themselves. Too many people sacrificing their own gifts, abilities, talent, energy to other people who are manipulating them. Right, April. It's only supposed to be for survival. Absolutely. There's a role for fear, absolutely. Yet it's being used to manipulate us for these other purposes. So, like, y'all, don't be afraid to be afraid. I didn't even think about y'all. I just made that up. That's a good one. Put on. Don't be afraid to be afraid. um, Put yourself out there, you all. Let us see the real you. I'm on this journey, and I'm really at this point now where I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, you all, like, think about the worst case scenario and then go into it. You'll survive at the end of the day. What will you gain though once you've been to the other side? Does that song break on through to the other side? Break on through to the other side. What will you gain by doing that? And y'all, we know most fears are just illusions at this point in the game. If you've been doing the work with tarot, it's just another illusion. So, all right, back to vulnerability. You all, like, when you're vulnerable, you let it all hang out. Yes, Angela, that is, it's a gateway of sorts. I can't wait. That's so exciting you got that card for the first time. Some cards have really been coming up a lot for y'all lately. The World is one of them. The Sun card has been coming up a lot. Those are really good cards to be having. I think it means we're all transcending as a group. Um, but vulnerability, when you're vulnerable, you let it all hang out. You come face to face with, excuse me, the universe. You can see it can see you, it can support you. When you allow all these other things to get in the way, you never can reach that level of realization because you're insulating yourself, you're protecting yourself, you're hiding behind or whatever. You're intervening so much you can't allow the universe to work for you. But when you put yourself out there, you come face to face and you realize your place in the universe and as a co-creator with it. Not only that, but you providing examples to others of what it is to be authentic, to be vulnerable, and to be supported. We have so many things dictating other narratives in our lives that we rarely get to see that. But when you let it all hang out, that's when you let the gift of you come forward. And I think we can all think of those times in life that we've gotten to witness that, how transformative it's been. Like one time for me recently, y'all know I love me some Beyonce. That Beyonce Coachella performance, y'all, she let it all hang out. She did not come to play with you hoes, like she said in the song from She let it all hang out, and it was transformative. It was transcendental. It was next level shit. Y'all, when do I get to see next level shit from you all? When do you get to see next level shit from yourself? All right, Angela. We'll catch you later if you gotta go. Um, Part of that, you all, is giving yourself permission, and that's one of the things I've been working on. It's like give yourself permission to go all the way the fuck in with no regard for what anybody thinks, what anybody feels, what anybody dictates to you. Oh my gosh, Angela, you need to watch that pronto. Y'all need to watch Lemonade. You need to watch Beyonce, the album. Give yourself permission to go all the way the fuck off like you've never done before. Remove the excuses that you've told yourself before. Remove the need for permission from other people. Live life. Don't just go through life. Don't just go through the motions. Live. Find out what it is that you're here to do. Even if you don't know, start doing. Do it. And not just because you think you need something or you need it. No, 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 not that. Do you be vulnerable? Um, Put yourself out there. And it may not look the way you want it to look. It may not be for a noble reason. It may not be blah, 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 but it's just you experiencing life for real this time. Give yourself permission. Be vulnerable. Put yourself out there. See what you create. Um, and give the world your gift, in that process. I was gonna say, I have evidence in the group, and this is how I know we're going to the next level. I'm seeing you all be more vulnerable in the tarot group, in the Money Manifestation Masters group. Oh, awesome, Courtney. Yeah. Um, the beauty in that group and why it's bringing so much more value to everyone there, and it's really like reaching that level is because everybody is being vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there. You're investing yourself in the task and you're letting it speak to you. You're not doing it in a guarded sense. You're not only sharing what sounds good. You're not only doing the parts that you know. You're not only meeting the requirements, you're putting yourself into the challenges. And now we get the beauty of seeing who you are, the lessons that you're learning, what the cards mean to you, not what the cards mean in some book that you read somewhere, not the definition that you recorded somewhere. We're seeing how it's playing in your life. And now we're getting the benefit because you've invested yourself. Okay? That's the beauty in this task. I'm sorry, in this group, the sharing, the openness, the vulnerability. Not just are you sharing the assignments, you're sharing your enthusiasm towards the assignments. You're giving your recommendations. Tiffany gave that wonderful recommendation about doing the cards in your first few hours of the day. Yes, right, Nicole? Right, right, right. I'm so glad. Um, that's what's beautiful, you all. So let's start living our lives that way. And y'all, I'm not saying this as an expert. I'm literally just learning these things, and part of this is me channeling. But that's what I'm faced with. It's like when you live with the fears and you let the fears dictate how you operate. Right, Courtney, trust. That's another one, trust. But when you let the fears dictate how you operate, it's a different experience. When you let love allow you to operate certain ways, totally different experience. Love, trust, openness. Removing judgment, you all. Vulnerability is about judgment. A lot of us refuse to be vulnerable because we're worried about the judgment. Y'all, the judgment doesn't matter. So, I don't want to belabor the point too much, but I think y'all get the message. And this is how I'm really trying to like operate now, you know? They are, April, and they're lower vibration things meant to sort of control us. We are all reflections of God. And when I say that, we are all God. We are all God. We don't even have to say reflections. You don't have to say children. We are God. Tap into your divine spark, which is expansion. You know, how can you expand yourself? That's what Kyle Cease talked about in that video that I shared. You know, like when you can move past the judgment, move past the fear, move past the need for security, that's when your freedom, your expansion, everything is on the other side of that. So move through that. And y'all, that's what the tower was teaching us. Leap. For some of you, it may be a process. You'll do it a year from now, 5 years from now, whatever. Why wait? You don't even have that time guaranteed to you, you know? Y'all, like, this sounds so cliche, but I actually listened to this today and it really does give you a new perspective. What if you died tomorrow? What could you say for your life today? You know, how can you move through your life as if you'll die tomorrow? Because tomorrow is not guaranteed, you all. So, and you know, we all know about death. It's not like an end, blah, 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 blah. But seriously, it gets to that point. What if you died tomorrow? What could you say for yourself and for your life? Have you lived? What held you back from truly living your life? Where were your priorities? Were they on paying bills? Were they on taking care of your kids? Were they on pleasing your parents? Where'd you place your priorities? And of that energy that you expend in those areas, do any of those things value you sacrificing your life for that? Do your kids appreciate you sacrificing your life to be the mediocre mom or dad that you are? Does your job appreciate you sacrificing all your time and energy for the bullshit that they're feeding you? Do your parents appreciate you sacrificing your being to match some model that they've laid out for you that is nothing but a lack of awareness for their lives? Not to not to assume the worst about them, but seriously, like their desires for you are based on their own insecurities, you know? So do they even value that? Why are we investing so much time and money and energy into upholding these things? You all live for you. And then let your light shine, radiating outwards, illuminating the world for others. Don't go with the lies. Like, we convince ourselves these bullshit lies because it's a way of making do with the circumstances. Right, right, April. We keep trying to convince ourselves these things to make do with the circumstances, but y'all, we don't have to play this game. We can play a game of our choosing because what? We're God. We are the creators. We do have the divine spark within us. So start living for you. Surround yourself with other people who have that type of mentality and then feed off of their energy and their light. Don't let someone dishonor you And don't dishonor yourself. Know thyself. Know who you are and honor that. That's it for today, you all. I didn't mean to get so preachy, but this is kind of fun. Because now this is fueling me for my day. This is putting things into perspective for me about how going to approach this day. So thank you all for being a part of that. And when we have these moments of clarity, it's really great. But the real work is in operating with this clarity that we've received. So bless you all. I bless you in your day. I thank you all for being you, every single one of you, the ones who are on this video right now, and everyone that watches this in the future. Thank you, Courtney, for being you. Thank you, April, for being you. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Nicole. Y'all are all lights in my life. You know, y'all are new. But y'all are lights in my life. So thank you all for being you. Thank you for everything you do for me. I never could have imagined. Well, I never could have imagined when I started this journey the people that I would meet and the ways that y'all would support me, and we barely even know each other. And this is just the beginning. So thank you for you. And it's nothing but good in front of us. Nothing but good. Even the bad is good.